So let's talk about the magnitude and direction part of the vector. So magnitude, how we find the magnitude of a vector is basically just the length of the vector. So in this case, how do you find the length of a line? We use the distance formula. So we're going to do the same thing here. The distance formula is, as we know, y2 minus y1 squared plus x2 minus x1 squared, and then the square root of all of that. So let's just use our points here. Remember the vector is this, 2, 5. So 5 is the y value, we know that. And we're using 2, 5 here, and then the origin is 0, 0. So the y2 value is 5, y1 value is 0 because we're using origin. So 5 minus 0, and then here the x value is 2, x value of the origin is 0. So 2 minus 0, you get that. So keep plugging it in, we plugged it in. 5 minus 0 squared is 25, 2 minus 0 squared is 4, 25 plus 4, 29, square root of that. So that's how we find the magnitude. The magnitude of this vector is the square root of 29. Okay, let's talk about the direction. So direction is basically how we find the direction is just the angle underneath the vector. So we can see a little data sign here. If we think of this vector as a line, and then the x-axis as the thing that's covering the other side of theta, the other side of the angle, then this theta value is the direction. So how would we find that theta value? Well, we know from our sine, cosine, and tangent functions that the tan of theta should be opposite over adjacent. So our opposite is the length of the vector, 5. If we made a hypothetical triangle here, the opposite is 5, and the adjacent is 2, right? So if we know that tan theta is opposite over adjacent, then we say tan theta is 5 over 2. So after we have to solve for theta, so we take the arctan of both sides, theta equals arctan 5 halves, and that gives us 68.199 degrees northeast. Sorry, that should be northeast. And that gives us the direction and the angle. And another way to find direction actually for vectors is by using slope. So we know that our y value, our y increase is 5, and our x increase is 2, so the slope would be 5 halves. We know that from basic algebra, and so that's another way to say the direction of the vector.